Welcome to Pioneers in Payments, where payments experts share their insights. Now, here's our host, Donna Blum.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Pioneers in Payments. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Rick Coeckelbergs from the banking scene. Welcome, Rick. How are you today?
Very well, thank you.
Thank you for joining us here. To get us started, Rick, would you mind sharing a little bit about yourself, your background in the payments industry, and the work that you do at the banking scene?
Sure. My name is Rick. In Dutch is Coeckelbergs. So Rick Coeckelbergs. I've worked in the payments industry for almost all my professional career, one way or another. So I started at a bank as an application manager in payments. In that period, I also set up a LinkedIn group, Innovation in Payments, and that's a community of today, December 2022. 52,000 members worldwide. And it's thanks to that community that I also kept being involved in payments when I had a job at a finance department at a local retail company. So professionally, I wasn't working payments, but in my free time, I kept following up on the latest news. After that job at the retailer, I switched to banking again as a senior product manager, retail banking. So again, in payments and every other daily banking service. And in combination with that, I set up the company I am currently managing. And that is the banking scene. It's a network organization for the banking industry across Belgium, Netherlands, and Luxembourg. Every week, we also host virtual roundtables, accessible for all, from people all over the world. But our in-person events are more locally oriented. Next to that, recently, we also set up, that is FinTech authorities, Chris Skinner, Andrew Verster, and Mary Wisniewski, a new project, a fun FinTech quiz show with candid commentary on the latest FinTech news, and that is FinTech Uncut. So it's a bit going into all directions. We have the LinkedIn group Innovation in Payments, 52,000 members. We have the banking scene, more locally oriented banking community, and FinTech Uncut. A very recent FinTech project coming up as well.
Well, that sounds exciting. I look forward to hearing more about those opportunities, and maybe we can provide some links for our audience to learn more too.
That'd be great. Thank you.
So to get started, I wanted to ask you, as a payments expert with a wealth of experience in the industry, obviously there's a lot happening in the industry today. What would you say is the most notable trend?
Well, actually, please allow me not to answer out of my personal opinion, although it's pretty similar. But I this week, so that is at the end of December 2022, I did a poll in my LinkedIn group Innovation in Payments, and that resulted in 281 answers asking what are the hottest payment topics for 2023. And global instant payments came out as number one, 43% voted that. Embedded and open finance second with 28%. CBDC came third as with 24%. Now I must note this or add that regulation should have been added as well if I follow the comments below the poll, which was the major answer for the ones that voted other.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. And I'm not surprised to see that global instant payments is at the top of the list. Certainly is a major focus in the industry today.
Absolutely.
So what would you say for organizations that process payments is the greatest opportunity?
I think it is the slow realization by financial institutions that outsourcing is not a sign of weakness, but perhaps a sign of strength. In my opinion and observation, there's a lot going on. As you referred to the global instant payments, I mentioned regulation already. There's a lot of things going on, and I can imagine the smaller financial institutions have a challenge dealing with all this change. By outsourcing some of those complex payment processes, they probably get a lot more resources available to work on things they're good at, to build on their strengths, and let others, like payment processors, deal with the complex payments for their clients. So that would be my answer on this question.
I think that's a great answer. So often, the traditional method is to, for example, in the space that we're in, which is back office software solutions, financial institutions have built their own in-house applications, but those applications aren't necessarily designed for like instant global
Hmm.
payments. So, um, you know,
No, exactly, and that's only the small tech part. The
right,
biggest pain is probably the aftercare of transactions, the whole compliance and fraud mechanisms that are attached to it. And by getting rid of all that distraction can be a huge difference for smaller financial institutions, in my opinion. And perhaps they can follow the speed of change today, but I don't expect that to keep going tomorrow or even later.
right, right. So to partner with organizations that are on the cutting edge, who can introduce those solutions right away, as opposed to years and years of development,
Yep.
yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so that's the greatest opportunity. What would you say is the biggest challenge?
I think we touched upon this a few times. For me, that's regulation, especially in a complex international context where you start to have increasingly more also international political tensions with consequences on fraud, on AML, blacklisting, whitelisting, graylisting. There's all these things going on. And that is, I think, keeping a transparent overview on all these changes is for me the biggest challenge. Technology as such is not a problem. It's making sure that this technology is well adapted to today's reality.
Yes, makes sense. So, my favorite question is we're kind of trying to distill everything that's happening in the industry and
Yeah.
really provide um, advice, best practices, kind of help payments professionals determine the path forward. So, what silver bullet piece of advice do you have for organizations that process payments today?
Well, I got the questions before, and what came top of mind was keep eyes and ears open within, but also outside the payments industry. As I referred earlier, the second most popular answer when talking about the hottest payments in 2023 is embedded finance. And that means that you start putting those payments in non-financial processes, non-financial services, non-financial marketplaces whatsoever. And if you want to make sure that your product is fit for those environments, those contexts, you also need to make sure that you understand the context where you want to integrate that payment solution in. So for me, keeping eyes and ears open, that goes to understanding other industries that are interested in integrating those payment solutions, but also understanding today's and tomorrow's latest technology and understanding what opportunity, but also what challenges that brings if you want to think about the future of payments.
Very good. It's almost like developing your plan with the endpoint in mind, right? Um,
Yeah, and many of these non-financial organizations that are interested in offering payment solutions or that are interested in offering solutions that require payments one way or another, they're not interested in compliance. They're not interested in fraud, back office, the pain of transactions that do not get executed the way they should have been executed, etc. They want to get rid of all that, and that's why they look for third parties. But these third parties must understand in which context these transactions were done. And that's why I would say, as a silver bullet, keep eyes and ears open and make sure that you understand the context you are working in. And that goes much further than simply payments industry.
Great. That's kind of a segue into the last question. So we're encouraging folks to keep their eyes and ears open, and
Yeah.
I would imagine that they can in part do that by tuning into some of the resources that you're providing through your
Yeah.
organizations. So would you mind sharing with our audience a little bit more about how they can learn about the banking
Yeah.
scene and those other fintech uncut
Absolutely.
and the resources that you provide online?
Sure. Well, thebankingscene.com, as I said, it has weekly virtual roundtable sessions. You can find them at www.thebankingscene.com. There we also have the weekly blogs, as well as an overview of the in-person events we organize. Perhaps less interesting for the American audience, although the blogs can be a useful source of inspiration. We are also on LinkedIn and on Twitter. And of course, Innovation in Payments, the 52K LinkedIn group, is also available on LinkedIn with many American members. And then last but not least, FinTech Uncut can be found on fintechuncut.com, but also on YouTube, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. But it's a fun show and specifically tailored for video. So if you want to take most out of it and understand some of the jokes, some of the buzzers, etc., that we use for the fun quiz, it could be more useful to watch it on YouTube or Spotify instead of the regular podcast channels.
I actually prefer the video format too. It just makes it so much more personal, and that's why we use that format for our podcast as well.
Absolutely.
Well, Rick, I just want to thank you so much for your time today. Really appreciate your insights. I'm sure our audience does as well. And I want to thank everybody for watching today. Have a great day.
Thank you very much for the invite. Bye-bye.